All righty. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Just pushing the go live button over here on Instagram. Give me a second. All right, here we go. All right, guys. So good to see you. Welcome, and welcome to Live with Leslie. And I'm really happy that you're here today. Happy Thursday, everyone. And really looking forward to this conversation that we have in store for you today. And specifically, if you're an integrative, functional practitioner, you're in private practice and you have found yourself wondering how to go about really harnessing the power of trust, especially online, to help you to build your brand authority, you, my friend, are in the right place. So today we are going to be chatting with one of my favorite people, Stephanie. And Stephanie is from String Marketing, lives up in Minnesota. And the title of today's session is called Trust Me, I'm Different, Building Credibility Online in a Skeptical World. So in this session, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of some of the things that we're going to touch on. Stephanie is going to discuss actionable strategies for attracting and converting high-value clients, growing revenue, and boosting online presence. And we're also going to touch on leveraging automation, which is so very important to help you to enhance client interactions, ensuring a streamlined and memorable client experience. So that's a little bit about what we're going to touch on today. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to Live with Leslie, and I'm Leslie Vitale, and I am a practice growth expert and business mentor for health professionals in private practice. And what I do is I help my clients to attract more perfect fit clients into their world, sell more programs, and ultimately grow a profitable practice while integrating multiple streams of income into their business models. So again, welcome, and big welcome to Stephanie. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me, Leslie. I'm happy to be here.
I missed you at the Integrative Health Symposium.
Yes.
Usually Stephanie and I catch up and hang out at the symposium. So one of those being the IHS Symposium in New York City in February. So missed you this year, maybe next year. Hopefully you'll be able to attend. So, all right. Well, anyways, we're long overdue for this conversation. Why don't we start by, having you share a little bit about your backstory?
Yeah, so a little bit about me. I started String Marketing 14 years ago, and we specialize in private practitioners, integrated functional private practitioners. And we're a full-service marketing agency. So I lead a team of women that do everything from website design, funnel creation, to marketing and executing marketing plans. We also have a marketing platform, an all-in-one sales and marketing platform where we can create automations and create sales processes for our practitioners to make a really smooth experience online. So that's a little bit about what we do.
How in the world did you end up in this space?
And where
did the name come from?
Yeah, right. Well, the name is kind of interesting. So it's actually a little family story. So when I was younger, I think it was Easter. I was probably, 6, 7 years old. I was at my grandparents' house and I was kind of pouting. So I went outside and, Minnesota, Easter time, the snow was melting and like the water's going, and you know how the ice forms over the water going down the street. And I was kind of kicking that down, and my grandpa came out and knew I was kind of upset and pouting. And he took me for a walk and he gave me this magic string that he was like, well, with this, you can do whatever you want. So he taught me how to use my imagination to create what I wanted to experience. And so, yeah, we had this magic string. I kind of gave it to my children. We would do stories. We walk down the street and lead a parade and, just kind of whatever's in our imagination, So when I started String so many years ago, I was trying to think of a name, and I was like, oh yeah, I just always loved my grandfather for that reason. He was an entrepreneur as well. And he kind of inspired me to be a business owner in the first place. And so I wanted to pay homage to him and call it String. So that's why it's called string marketing. I know it's a little bit of a different name, but yeah, it's very special.
And memorable, I might add, especially with the story behind it, right?
Yeah, right.
Like
Yeah,
the tenets of marketing, right?
Right, exactly.
Story.
Sticking to people's minds.
I love that. Okay, great. All right, so let's jump right in. I think you have an acronym for the word trust, right? And again, everybody, those that are just joining, that's what today is all about, is how do we go about developing trust in really a highly skeptical world? Like, let's just be honest, right? So today's about, being able to establish a trustworthy brand in a very busy and skeptical online environment. I think you mentioned, Stephanie, that you have an acronym that you like to use for the word trust. So please share.
Yeah. So first, why is trust so important in marketing? Let me touch on that really briefly. It's just, there's 3 key components in your marketing that you're trying to convey to people or get them, you want them to know, like, and trust you. And you can have people know and like you, and they still might work with you, but trust brings a different level of experience in your work with people. Trust, when you're able to build this in your marketing, and in just your practice in general, it helps not only in the sales process to attract the right clients and higher value clients, but it also helps with referrals. It helps you work more effectively with your clients because you're trying to get outcomes with them, right, together. And if you can earn their trust, it's such an important thing, especially in this particular space with practitioners. In your marketing, trust is just so vital. And it helps all along the whole customer journey. And so with that, I'd like to highlight what are the different things that help build trust online. So the acronym is, so T is tech driven. People don't always equate trust with tech, right? Like how does that come into play? R is for relationship. How do we build relationship online before they're ever even talking to you? That doesn't seem natural all the time for people. U is for unified messaging.
Okay.
S is for simplify, make the process on your client side easy and simple, and on your side for that matter. Make it easy on yourself. And then T is for testimonials and trust signals. Those are so very important. So we're going to go through kind of each one of these and talk about the different things that you can do to leverage that piece for increasing trust in your practice.
Awesome. Okay. I love acronyms. Just makes
it a little easier to remember, walk away with, hopefully.
Okay, yeah, this is really good. Okay, so we've got tech driven, relationships, unified messaging, making things simplified and easy for you and your customer. And then finally, testimonials, which are essentially trust signals. Did I get that right?
Exactly.
All right. Excellent. All right. So let's delve into the technology piece first, shall we?
Yeah. So how does tech come into play when it comes to trust? A lot of people don't think of tech being something, one, at a base level with trust. When you're trying to build trust with somebody, whether it's in person or online, you can't have things broken in between. That's kind of a given, right? If they click on a button, it needs to do what it's expected to do. So that at a base level, that's a piece. However, in where we are in the world now, with AI and different expectations people have online with brands, those expectations are changing and or are changing a little bit more rapidly as we go along. So having things on your website like chat widgets, smart forms, like a smart form meaning based on one answer, it might ask a different question, right? Those kind of like having it more interactive quizzes, and having smart automation in your sales process is important too. Automated follow-ups, all of those kind of things. Now, for practitioners, you don't have to get super fancy. That's where I want to be clear, because it is a little intimidating with all these tools that are out there and so many different platforms to engage with and things like that. Like, what are the things that are so important? I think at a base level, using tech to your advantage with automations is essential, and giving them, your client online, the ability to have some connection with you, whether that be through a chat widget or, you know, your messaging or anything like that, that they have that access, because people more and more, with so many things being so impersonal, they really crave that personal touch. And I think for practitioners, that's just such a key area that they can really utilize without stretching their time too much or being too available. I think there's, you know, ways to be able to give that to them online.
I love that. Okay. So do you see the role evolving?
Yeah, I do.
By the role of technology specifically.
Absolutely. I think, you know, more and more you're going to see, you know, AI coming into play with AI chatbots. The content is changing. There's a lot of talk in my industry anyway about what does this mean for SEO. Google has just put out a release last month where they are actually putting out in some search results. This is kind of interesting, just a little tidbit for everybody. In some search results, you're going to notice that they're going to have like an AI generated synopsis of the search up front. That's a very it compiles comments from online, from consumers, reviews, and branded materials. So previously, Google really ranked brands higher, you know, for, you know, you would see in this space, you'd see WebMD and Mayo and Cleveland Clinic and those up top on the results. And they haven't quite done it a lot for healthcare yet. But once they do, you're going to see more AI generated results that have a little bit wider view of these things. And I think that's really interesting. And then below that, they're doing a little bit more display of like Reddit and consumer conversation stuff, and then the results. So that's a big shift. Yeah, that's a big shift. And I think that's going to change the way in which people start searching for healthcare, especially in this space, as long as Google keeps the playing field level. You know, I think that'll be an interesting way. So with that, people's perception of when they search is going to change. And I think that add a base element, that's going to be really important. The content that you put on your site is going to be really important, so that it's driving. What we're predicting is that your traffic might go down, but the traffic that you get will be much more targeted traffic. Okay. That's not a bad thing. You know, it's intent. Yeah, their intent is to purchase something usually, or sign up, or looking for your service. So
what can we do as practitioners to help facilitate that?
Yeah, I think what you want to do is use authority content. Blogging, I don't think is going to be going away, but I think continuing to get your expertise out there with blogging. And also the web copy on your website, be very thoughtful. Don't just, don't discount that the importance of that space. That's the first space that people are going to be landing on. And people are, with AI and with these summaries that they're going to be getting, they're going to be expecting, like, give me the juice right away. Let me understand you right away. You know what I mean? So they're gonna they're not going to want to have to hunt and peck for things on your website. They're not just going to want a banner with a bunch of food up there with a statement that doesn't really give them the information that they need to have. Okay. So you really need to understand who you're trying to target and really say the right things. And I think that's.
I know you and I have talked a lot about this website copy specifically, right?
Right.
And so I don't think that what you're describing is like super brand new, right?
Oh,
but yeah, like kind of the generic pictures of food baskets, right? As a banner, like that does not instill this sense of trust when your target audience lands on your website, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right away.
I don't know how you feel about this, but I always think like your audience, they want to look into your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the practitioner space, this is going to be really important. Whether you're up top on your website or right there, you're creating a relationship. If they can't see you, if it's elusive, then it's going to be harder for them to feel connected with you.
Right.
And, so yeah, you need to be up.
Do you agree one of the steps, because I'd love for everyone to walk away with kind of a sense of, okay, what do I do with this?
Yeah. I think look at your forms on your website. From a tech-driven thing, the interactive what interactive elements do you have on your website? Try to think of one interactive element, whether it be a smart form, a quiz, because there's tools out there to be able to do that. Or think about your interaction with your clients, your discovery call process. Does that feel smooth? Is it tech-driven? Do you have follow-ups, things like that with it? So whatever you can do to increase the experience from a tech standpoint on your website, one thing at a time, get used to it, make sure it works, and then try another thing. So that's what I would suggest is chat widgets are great. And it doesn't mean that you have to be right there to answer them. It gives people a great way to reach out.
I'd love to find out from our audience, who here uses a chat widget?
Yeah.
I do not, but it's always kind of on my mind. So, all right, guys, it's on my to-do list officially.
There you go.
I see those and I think, wow, that is, it's just one of those things that just kind of never rises to the top of the to-do list.
Right.
Does anyone here have a chat widget? I'd love to just kind of hone in on that.
One of the things that our clients are the most surprised about when we install that, the number of leads that you get from a chat widget when somebody just has a question, it's amazing how many people reach out that way where they won't fill out a contact form. They're not ready for a discovery call. And even if the information is on your website, they'll ask.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Awesome. This is like an easy to do, guys. I love that. Right. Yeah, all right. Lisa Cooperbin, not yet.
Hey, okay. Lisa.
India May, love that name. So cool. What are some names of chat widgets? What would you say to that?
Oh yeah, so what our String Connect system does have one. I want to mention that.
Okay.
That's one thing that we install for practitioners, and we set it up. We can even set up automated responses for some of the most frequently asked questions. It's a very popular part of what we have a product called Lead Connector System, or Lead Capture System. And it involves the most important elements of this tech-driven piece, honestly. So yeah, ours does have that. Some other ones that are out there, there's one called Topol that is super cool. If you like video and you have some video, it's an interactive video one where you're in the corner of your website going, hi, come over here, ask the question. And then it has this interactive question kind of.
Topol?
Topol, T-O-P-O-L. Love it.
Oh my God.
I'll share it after this. I'll share it in the comments too. All
right, guys, we can nerd out on this stuff, right?
Yeah. So that's a really good one as well.
Oh, so cool. All right. I love it. I got a great takeaway action step, and hopefully you all do as well. And I can really see how, people, they don't know. They're what do they say, Stephanie? Like, I think I read 94% of people searching on the internet, they land on their site and they are not ready.
Yeah.
What I've heard, 94%. Yes. That's like almost everybody.
Yes. And most of the practitioners we work with, the first time they hear from them is really kind of the first time they realize that they're interacting with them. But they might have had, they say in marketing, it takes 7 touches to really get that person as a client. Yeah, right. And it's more now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it's surprising, in our system, in our String Connect system, you can see all the interaction that you've had with your client, from if they've commented on Instagram to if they went on your website and did a form, all the pages on the web, and you'd be surprised how much interaction they actually have with you before really even getting on a discovery call. They're checking you out. They are checking you out before they're reaching out.
Yeah, because let's be honest, a discovery call, people know what that is.
Yeah.
Right. And they're generally, I don't think they're gonna get, well, I guess some people do. They're, it's a mixed bag, right? Sure. But I would just say in general, people know what that is. Yeah. And a lot of times they're just, let me just say this. One thing that I see, I don't know what you feel about this, but personally, I think I don't know if it's the best idea, where the opt-in is a discovery call.
Oh yeah, I have seen that where it's free, but there's a little bit of like my hesitation with it.
Yes.
Is whenever you're getting that interaction, that you want to step it up, right? And whatever that looks like for your business. And the discovery call being the opt-in, there's an expectation where it's not just like, hey, let's get to know each other. There's a give me a little bit more with that one. And it's a commitment. I mean, no matter what, you should add value on every interaction with your client in discovery call or not. I mean, that's how you should operate. But I don't know. I feel like the discovery call is that it's a different ask than an opt-in, a little bit different ask.
Yeah, I do too. And especially, I think, here's my take, you're going to lose a lot of potential leads if that's all you have on your site as an option.
Yes.
Because people, they're just simply not ready. Like that is a big step and they're just not ready. So let's give them like, and don't forget, people want instant gratification.
They do. Yes, they do. Right? People are not patient enough, especially if you're going to, in this space, there is so much opportunity with high value clients that are willing to invest in their health with private dollars. And these people are busy. They have a few minutes to check this out. They've landed on your site. Give them every opportunity to get on your email list, to interact with you. And that's why the chat widget is probably the top of my list for that interaction, because they land there, they want their question answered, they reach out, and that chat widget can get them on your list. It creates a contact in your system.
Amazing.
So that, and it's SMS and email, so which is great. You're getting their whole picture right off the top. So I find that that's a huge lead generating system, and at least get them in your pipeline,
I'm super psyched to look into that, especially with video. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, I know. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
Because video, I really hang my hat on video. It will shorten that period of time to take someone who doesn't know you at all to becoming, again, developing that trust.
Yeah.
To becoming a paying client. Right. Love that. Okay. So, any other tidbits that you want to share on that trust acronym?
Yeah, so the second one is relationship. So at a base level, that's what we're trying to do in our marketing, is create relationships. And all the practitioners that I know, they care about that deeply and struggle doing it online. Okay. And so one, I do think, there's a lot of AI content out there. Online is an opportunity for you to have a real human voice. It's not that you shouldn't use AI. You can absolutely use AI. It's great for ideas. It's great for helping with content prompts, things like that. But in the end, know your voice and speak like a human. Put that human content out there, and don't be afraid of the mistakes, because that makes you even more human. Yes. Especially now with AI.
With AI, oh my God, what do we do with AI? I know that's like a whole topic, isn't it? Like we should.
It is. Oh yeah.
Live just on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I can talk all day about it. Yeah.
I guess like, what is your? I guess, do you have any tips, or what is your takeaway? Because it ain't going away, folks.
Right. No, it's not going away. It's going to change. Just like I was saying with the Google search engine, that they're doing an AI generated summary now. I think it's wonderful, because it does put a little bit more. It might not sound like it, but I think that puts a little bit more power in people's hands on that. AI is collecting information from all over the web, real people's words on things, and getting a little bit of a real picture in there. I think from a practitioner standpoint, what should be on their radar is, like I was saying, with those experiences online, people are going to expect the answers more quickly. It's just everything is kind of at our fingertips, even more so now. And so we need to be cognizant of that. And then from how we use it in our practices, I love using it for processes. I love integrating automations with AI to be able to spit things out for my team, if you can do that.
Okay.
But I use it almost on a daily basis, just for coming up with a quick blurb, for doing this and that. And then, but the thing is know how to use it right.
Yes.
And know your voice so that something doesn't all of a sudden come out and be like, oh, that's awesome.
Like, I know I've read things that it produces for me, and I go, okay, I would never say that.
Yes. Right. Exactly.
I would never write it.
Exactly.
So I have to change it, because it doesn't sound like anything I would ever think of saying sometimes.
Right.
So you gotta be careful. I do think it's a great tool, but you do want to be
great tool. Yeah. Use it for outlining things, outlining your blogs, things like that. But keep a human element in there. I think what we're going to find is that Google's going to de-index things that are AI created completely. They do have AI detection systems out there and things like that. So I think it's really important to be cognizant of that, and just continue to be human, because you're working with humans and humans recognize humans, and let that be. You don't have to be perfect.
Yep. Which is a really important thing for, I'm sure, everyone here. Like the perfectionistic club.
Exactly. That's usually what holds people with practitioners back, is the perfection, trying to get it perfect. It's like, just put it out there, give it a try. 80% is perfect.
Yourself, right? I always like to say, pretend you're like, if you're writing, pretend you're writing to, a friend / colleague, a singular person. And I don't know.
Singular person. Exactly. And that's one of my other points under relationship, is speak to the person. Yes. Know who you're talking to. If you're trying to create a relationship, think about when you create a relationship. So you met your spouse or your significant other, or whoever it was, and think about how much time and effort and thought you put into how you communicated, what you're going to do next, what date you're going to go on. That's what your marketing should be like. Think about that person. How are you going to interact with them? What free thing are you going to give them? Be excited about what you're putting out there, but put the best of you out there too. You know what I mean? Like, do quality opt-ins and think about that experience that they're getting. Create some good video, things like that, and put some time into those things, because that's your first opportunity to create a relationship with the person. Yeah. And that increases the value of your services as well. So that being able to create that trust, create that relationship, and create a really good experience increases the value of your services in the end too. So, so really important.
So, okay. Do we have anything else on the trust acronym?
Well, there's still US and T. So unified messaging, we kind of talked about messaging already.
Okay.
So being consistent in your tone. I think with unified messaging, know your business, know what your elevator pitch is, and stay on point in your messages. Stay on point. And then simplify. This is a really important one. There are so many systems out there to use, and we feel it too. That's why we are bringing String Connect into this market, because it's an all-in-one marketing system platform that handles all the pieces. So let's talk about simplifying, because I think discovery calls are a really great area of example here. So if you're using your EHR for a discovery call, what you're asking this new relationship person to do is to jump over a fence to knock on your door. And I love EHRs. I think they're so valuable and important in your business. This is nothing about EHRs, but you should have a marketing system that handles your discovery calls. It should be an open door. They can walk right in. There's low barrier in the beginning, you want to take all these barriers away to say, hey, let's, interact. So I think that's one area you can simplify. Most practitioners can simplify for their audience, is have a very simple discovery call process.
Okay.
And then on the other side, your onboarding process, have a smooth transition over there. Tell them what to expect. I'm going to invite you into my system. This is like my private office where we're going to have your health records and information. Let them know what that is then. And then they're going to be like, oh, I get this private area. I feel great about that. I'm going to get a
question about that. Just a clarifying question.
Yeah.
All right. So about the discovery call. All right. So it's my understanding that with the discovery call, using the EMR, like, I think we're asking the person to register in the EMR, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times you have to register fully with quite a long form. Yeah, it's a little bit too much of a commitment for a discovery call.
I think so too. I got a question for our audience. Let us know if that is kind of your process, and no judgment, guys.
No judgment at all. Most practitioners are doing that because that's the tool they have. I get it.
Probably 90. I honestly can't think of anyone I'm working with that doesn't do that. So no judgment at all.
Yeah. Right.
I see the challenge. It's a first step. They're not sure yet. And wow, we're asking them like a lot of personal information, from my understanding, to register inside of that EMR. So you can kind of see how that could be off-putting, right? So the question I have is, can you be specific, Stephanie? What do we do instead?
Yeah, so there's several systems out there. You can book me, Calendly, Acuity, different systems like that. String Connect is also a system where we can handle discovery call scheduling. String Connect's nice because it is also your email marketing system, right? So your discovery call, they're going on your list. Whichever system you use, you want to be able to make sure to do follow-up messages to them. Like a confirmation of the call, a reminder of the call, and SMS. If you could do text with that, ideal. You will get more people showing up because some people forget or whatever it is. And if you can remind them 15 minutes before, they're going to show up. So that's a really important piece. Now, not all systems can have that unless you upgrade and then you pay more costs and things like that. But I think that's important. The other opportunity that you have is more opportunity to build trust in your sales process before you ever get on a call. So imagine this. They sign up for a discovery call. It's really super easy. You've asked them 3 questions when they sign up. What's your biggest concern right now? Why did you contact me? Things like that. Just 3 simple questions on your form. They grab a time, they get a confirmation email. A few hours later, or even the next day, depending on how many days it is to the call, you can send another email that talks about a success story that you've had. Hey, if in that questionnaire, ask them, like, is it about gut? Is it about hormone? If you're not niched, if you are, whatever that is, and send a personalized email to them, automated based on their responses with a story. You can also send an automated response in lieu of a form and just say, hey, thanks. I'm so excited to hop on a discovery call. I have one question for you. Get them to interact with you before the call. It's so interesting to see how many people actually respond to that and be like, oh, this is my number one concern. They'll write you a big, long email, and they're so excited that you cared to reach out. And it looks like it's from you, but it's automated, and that's okay. It's an opportunity to create relationship.
Okay. It's engagement, right?
It's engagement. Yeah, if you can get that interaction going.
I love that. It's kind of like Instagram. Like, let's just be honest. The people that are killing it on Instagram are the ones that are engaging, not just posting every day, right?
Exactly. Yep. It's all about the interaction.
It's the engagement, the interaction that equals trust, right?
And sometimes it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be like, do this big thing. It can simply be your confirmation email from your discovery call just says, hey, respond back. I want to hear about, what's your biggest concern? Tell me something. Tell me whatever. Have them answer a question. People love talking about themselves. They'll respond. You'd be surprised.
So my clients typically have like an application type of form.
Yep.
I would say it's not too many questions, right? Just kind of like prioritizing your health concerns, trying to get a sense of like, what do you want to accomplish? Right?
Yep, exactly.
The question I like is, how big of a priority is this?
Yes.
Like scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you? Like, if I had to pick, those would be the 3 questions.
Yeah. Right. And that's a good point too, because your discovery call process is the other opportunity to qualify your people before you get on a call with them. So that discovery call form and any follow-up interaction that you have is a good opportunity to qualify. I'll tell you that I think it was just a few weeks ago, I was attending this marketing seminar, and there was this gal that did these funnels, and I was really kind of interested in what she did. I knew, like, okay, she does funnels for like Porsche and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, I'm not a company she'd work with, but I'm like, I want to see what her sales process is like. So I went and did her discovery call form and was honestly going to get on a call with her if she wanted to get on a call. But I did get the rejection notice. I got a very kind letter just saying we work with companies that are in this revenue range, because they asked revenue a lot of times in marketing. In our world, they ask what your revenue is. And I didn't qualify for that level of revenue. I'm not a $15 million company. Okay, well, that's fine. They rejected me. I think that's great. It's okay. It's okay to, practitioners don't need to do it that much, but it's a good opportunity to qualify your people.
Yeah, because one of the
red flags right away
I hear is, and let me just preface this by saying there's a lot of reasons behind this. And being a teacher of sales, I'll just put myself out there and say a lot of times getting no's is because we just don't have a plan to execute the enrollment call, right? That's it's definitely a big consideration. But all of the big frustrations is, spending like all this time on calls and just feeling like, oh my God, like there is no skin in the game on their part.
Right.
So, like, how do you strike that balance?
Not
making it so cumbersome. Exactly. I would say step one, okay, not to like jump ahead, but step one is what Stephanie said. I think really reconsider having them jumping through all kinds of hoops to go through your EMR. Maybe that is, one really important thing.
2 top ones. Yeah. And that's part of our lead capture system as well. The discovery call process and the chat widget on the website and the opt-in on your website. Like those are the 3 key areas that we need to be capturing leads and bringing them into a quality experience that in the end brings you high value clients. That's the goal of it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, those 3 are important. Your chat widgets are amazing for getting leads that you wouldn't expect, that wouldn't have otherwise.
Great.
But every call, you'll close more deals. Just like Lesli teaches, like, you have a better experience in your sales process. You are going to close higher value clients.
Yeah, absolutely. So so if you're getting a lot of no's, we need to talk.
Right, exactly. Talk to Lesli.
The process really is one of my, why I get so fired up about the sales process. Like most people are like, oh God, I hate sales. It's so awful. But the thing is that it is literally the one thing that I teach that can change everything overnight. Like, there's not a lot of things that are like a quick fix, right?
Yeah. And it can be a process. It doesn't need to be daunting. It can be a process that you're doing over and over, and you're honing in and you're learning how to do it. And there's just a few things that might be hurdles for you to overcome. But it's not like, but once you have a process for it and that experience is really good, you have happy people on the phone ready to buy what you're selling, right? And that makes it so much easier.
It really, really does. Yeah. I love it. Okay.
So the final one, testimonials and trust signals.
Yes.
So testimonials, trust signals, I'll go through really quick. This is kind of a no-brainer, but the big thing that I want to point out here is that don't just have a testimonials page. Place testimonials thoughtfully throughout your website. Use video if possible. Use actual screenshots if possible. But also use testimonials in your sales process and in your discovery call process. In those follow-up emails or after the sales call, even if they purchase from you, follow up with a story and just reinforce that purchase. You want them to trust even more and send referrals. Make that onboarding experience really good. So use testimonials and story throughout your process.
Okay. So like in my sales process that I teach, step 6 is the stick process, like i.e. make the sale sticky.
Yeah, right. There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
Because guys, buyer's remorse is a real thing, and it's nothing against you. You cannot take it personally, but people, they second guess themselves. And I would just say typically it's fear driven. They're scared, right? They're like, and they wake up the next day sometimes and they're like, what was I thinking? I must have been out of my mind to say yes.
Right.
And then they're, all kinds of negative thinking starts kicking in and they get scared. And sometimes they are like, I don't know what I was thinking, but please, give me a refund. I can't do this.
Right.
So
right.
what you want to do, yeah, what Stephanie said, I think is a great, great solution to that. Mm-hmm. Get them started. I would just say, get them started in the process ASAP. And that's another thing where I kind of have an issue with the EMR, to be honest. Because if you're like, okay, so let's say you're on the call, you get a yes, yay, right? And then you're like, okay, well, let me send you links for scheduling and links for this and links for that. Oh my God.
Exactly. I encourage my clients, whenever possible, try to do that on the phone. It might be a little cumbersome, but it is so much better experience for your client, and let them know what to expect after that. Okay, then now you're going to get an email and send out an email from your marketing system at that point too, just to say, hey, just making sure you got that email, because it should be XYZ. Those are important little touch points, because you're acknowledging like, hey, we're moving our conversation now. This is what that's going to look like, because that makes technology isn't always everybody's favorite. We'll just know that and try to make it easy for them.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right. So guys, really, 3 takeaways that I have for you so far. Think about adding that chat widget to your website. Rethink your discovery call process in terms of having them jump through a bunch of hoops to get registered, right? Like really, really want to rethink that, because it might just be too cumbersome. Yeah. And then the third thing is I would invite you to kind of revisit your, let's call it your stick strategy, right?
Yeah, right.
When someone says yes, are you just like saying, okay, here's like 25 different links, go at it? Like that would be very off-putting, I think. And it gives you too much time to second guess, right? So think of it this way instead. If you are the client and your practitioner is like, okay, Leslie, let me help you get started. I'm going to save you a bunch of time here. I'm going to open up my computer. I'm going to get you registered so you don't have to worry about it. It'll be all done. Psychologically, in my mind, I'm already in the process. It's like I don't have like a way out. Real. I mean, of course I could, right?
You've already committed.
I'm committed. It's just a really different mindset. So please rethink. I know, like with EMRs, there's all kinds of things we can do, but it doesn't mean we should do.
Think about your marketing as the open system. It's the open door. Your EHR, think of that as your EMR, think of that as your office space. It's the quiet space in which you invite them for private health conversations, and that's where they should belong. You don't want a bunch of leads in that system. You want your leads in your marketing system that you can email openly, you can do text marketing, you can do all of those things.
Yes.
So, yeah. And we help with the tech side of all of these things. So like I was saying, the lead capture system, if you go to our website, stringmarketing.com, right up top, you're going to see String Connect. If you click on that link and schedule a demo with me, I'll tell you all about the lead capture system, installing a chat widget, getting that discovery call process all figured out and smooth. Especially if you've worked with Leslie, you know what to do with your discovery call process. We can make it from a tech side really, really smooth. So it's really nice in that way. And then, of course, getting that opt-in that's going to generate those leads for you on your website. So yeah, reach out if you need help with any of these pieces.
Yeah, reach out to Stephanie. I put the website, streamline.com, on the screen so you guys can access that easily. Okay. All right. So let's see. Where do we leave off? Is this measurable?
Yeah, I think in the end, it's a measurable. How are you getting higher value clients and closing more sales?
Okay.
In the end, it's the number of leads coming in the door, the number of deals that you're closing. That is where the numbers are. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And anyone working with me, we do track leads and we track closure rates.
That's
So,
awesome.
and we've got that automated spreadsheet that, does all the math for you. So yeah, you should see those numbers improving with these systems in play. Okay. What else? What have we not covered, Stephanie, that we want to make sure that we talk about?
I think, I think to wrap up, just, the thinking about how your interactions and your relationship with clients and building this trust with technology, with the right content and things like that. Just, it's not too daunting. It's just it's a few little things that you can do to go and improve your client experience. So right now, even if you don't install anything new, any new tools, anything like that, sit in your client's shoes and say, what does it look like when they get to my website? What does it feel like when they interact with me? Oh, I click this button, I fill that contact form, and then what am I doing? How long does it take for me to get back to them? Like, what does that feel like on their end? And think through it from a customer experience standpoint.
Right.
And I think you'll find there are going to be super simple things that you could do, even if you just go through that exercise, that you could do with these things in mind. Even without technology, you could do it today. So, I would encourage everybody to just think through your client's eyes.
So my last question for you is, do you have any specific advice that you would give to a practitioner who's just starting out?
Yeah.
To help them to hit the ground running and really quickly establish that strong presence and credibility?
Yeah, the key things that for new practitioners is, one, know what you're selling, right? Have some sort of a process that you're going to take people through, of course, because you're driving them somewhere and they need to, they're not going to sign up for a discovery call if they don't really know what you do. So make sure that is clear. And it doesn't mean that you have to have it listed on your website with a price. It doesn't mean that. It just means, know what you're trying to drive for. And then once you have that, you can have that on a one-page website even.
Yes, you can.
Have your Google business listing. Get that set up. If you're a local business, have your Google business listing. That is utmost important.
Okay.
Get engaged with your niche. Go get in private groups. Get in, if you're not local, get engaged with your niche on social.
Okay.
And then have easy ways for people to reach out to you and schedule a call without you having to manually do everything, all the pieces.
Okay.
I think those are the three things that I would look at. One-page website will work.
I ran this business on a one-page website for years.
Right?
And I was so flippin' busy serving people that I honestly didn't have time to upgrade for about 3 years.
Right.
So that is testimonial. You don't have to have a super fancy, complicated site.
No.
I had great opt-in. So what I did was I did sit down and I wrote a really kick-ass ebook, right?
Oh, that's it. Add the value with the thing, that the relationship that you're creating. Don't have to overwhelm them. You don't need to build a castle, build a beautiful house. And
I did that with my nutrition business. I'm just going to put it out there. Oh my God. It was insane. I can't even tell you the thousands and thousands of dollars I blew on that site. I had shopping carts, you
don't need all the bells and whistles.
And guess what? I don't think anyone ever bought a test. Like, I had all these kind of functional tests.
It
was completely, useless.
That's a really important point. You don't have to have everything you sell on your website.
No.
You're the guide. Get them on that call and tell them what's going to work best for them. And you'll sell more that way than putting all of the options on your website and hoping people click and check out on a shopping cart. Just doesn't work that way.
Oh, look at it. Hey, Jeannie. We love Jeannie. A freeway conversation one of these
times. Yeah, I love that.
Great hearing from you. I know we are going to chat coming up soon. So thanks for popping in. We're having a great convo here with Stephanie. I do have a question, and I know we're going to wrap up here in a moment, but the Google My Business.
Yes. Yep.
So any tips on, how to go about doing that effectively? And the other thing I just want to put out there is, do people have to worry about less than stellar reviews?
Oh, that's a good question. So
I've heard, I had, unfortunately, people can be people.
People be people, and that happens. Yeah, it happens. And honestly, a less than stellar review is nothing to be worried about as long as you respond to it. Respond well to it. In the world of Google and how things rank, Google Business Listing rankings can be very important to any local business.
Okay.
And if you have all 150 5-star reviews, Google actually has some skepticism there, whether they were purchased or, black hat practices to get those reviews. So having a 3-star, a 2-star review here and there, and you respond well to it, can actually vote in your favor from the rankings from Google's side. But also, when people are reading reviews, if they see a scathing review and see your kind response and see all of these other good reviews, guess who they're going to think is a little off their rocker? The person who said the bad review, right? They're gonna see a little bit through that. They also know that it's human. People are human. There might have been a mistake made. If you did make a mistake and somebody's calling you out on it online, respond back and say, that is not how I like to do business, and I'm so sorry that happened. I'd like to offer XYZ. Can you, let's get on a call.
Yeah.
Something like that, so that you see it, they see how you handle if somebody's not satisfied.
Okay.
That goes a long way, and that won't hurt you. So I think that's really important. And then from a Google Business setup standpoint, I think really do make it. It is intended for local search, so have it be your local area. If you put the United States, unless you're author or something a little bit different, there's different file types. But with the Google local search, local business search, have a local area county-wise, selected, or states. You can be virtual. They do have a new way to verify your business listing now, which is a little bit, everybody's still navigating it. So they're requiring now that you have a video of your location with the sign and the door and you walking in. Like, it's a whole verification system they are requiring now, which is interesting. But they're not requiring that you have to have an address on your listing. So some people who work from their homes have to get a little bit creative, putting a sign on their door, walking in. This isn't going to go online afterwards. It's for
okay. Boy, that would, honestly, had you not explained that would throw me for a loop.
It throws everybody for a loop, and it really has kept a lot of people from being able to do it. Other practitioners have gotten really creative with how they've done this. So there's workspace places, different things like that, where you can rent, like, even for a few hours, a space once a month. I have a couple practitioners that are doing that, and they count that as a location. So they have a location in a city, and they see, new clients there once a month or something like that. That's a way to have a physical location without having a physical location. So be creative with that.
Oh, great. That's a power tip. Really. So everybody, guys, if you're not on Google My Business, let's make that happen. I would say that's something you can do today. Although if you have to kind of figure out the creative workaround with the office, maybe tomorrow or over the weekend.
Yeah, right. Take a little bit of time with it. Go to Kinko's, get your sign, put it up. You gotta be creative. But it is possible to do still virtually. Some people think that means they are only doing brick and mortar. That's not necessarily the case. You can work virtually, but it has to be within a location, like you have to serve a location.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah. All right, guys. So that is another really, really good action step. So put that on your list.
Yeah. A few things for everybody to do.
Yeah. Okay. So Lisa, that's a great idea. Lots of workspace, shared space now. Exactly. Yeah, guys, I'd love to hear from you even after we end this live. I'd love to hear what your big takeaways are. What are you going to commit to do? That thing they say, it's a coaching philosophy where if you put it out there, and you say you're going to do it, you're more apt to do it. So let's take advantage of that, right? Let's kind of lean into that philosophy and let me know what you want to commit to. I'd love to help keep you accountable and moving forward. So I will commit to putting a chat on my website. That is my action step for today. All right, guys.
That's a great example of the chat widget. She put one on her site and it worked out really well for her.
Who's that?
Jeannie Petrucci. She put a chat on her site and it went really, really well for her.
Oh, Jeannie, I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I think that's genius. It's been like on my mind, but just never rose to the top. So that is so many pearls, guys. So many. Thank you, Stephanie, for spending all of this time with us. Oh my gosh. Okay, the chat. All right, guys. If you need help, go right to String Marketing. They can help make it happen.
We can help make the chat widget happen. Yep. Okay. Grab a demo call with the String Connect system. It's right on top of the website.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So, all right. So really nice testimonial there. So yeah, go to stringmarketing.com and sign up for you said a string demo, right?
Connect demo call. Yep. Okay.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. This is
thanks for having me.
Such a great conversation. Let me just say I could keep going, but I know we all.
I could too. We could chat all day. It's just, thank you so much for having me. It's always so fun to talk with you, and it's
so fun and so helpful. So helpful. I hope you guys got a boatload of value today. I know I did. And so take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, an awesome weekend. I will see you next Thursday. And Stephanie, thanks again for sharing your time with us as well as your wisdom.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. And thanks everybody for listening.
All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next time.